I think they're actually pretty good, but just turn that light on right there. Just turn that, let the banister light.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to When the Right One Comes, the ladies edition. We heard the men on Monday night. Now we're going to hear from the ladies. We, as Destiny says, we heard from the kings. Now we're going to hear from the queens. The queens are in the court tonight, and they are all single because ain't none of them married. Who we define single as. I mean, they may be into something, but right now they're single. So that's what we're saying. And if you all would come in and check in, and if you would invite and share, hey Sonia, hey Sonia. Everybody, go ahead, Pastor E. Welcome everybody in as they come in, call their names. Let us know where you're coming in from, and invite and share, and put the word share. Go ahead, Pastor E.
Hello, Angela. Hello from Fort Worth, Texas. Hi. And so Mika, yeah, everybody know Mika. Hello. Welcome back, Mika. Nicole Baldwin from Michigan. Hello, Nicole. Shannon Rochelle. Hey, girl. Hey. Louisiana. Let's see who else we have. So, Brittany. I believe it. Johnson. Hello from Georgia. Valerie from Carson, California. Hey, girl. Mika's from Dallas, Texas. I didn't know that, Mika. Kedra Nicole. Hey, darling. Baton Rouge. KK. Ray. Kiki. I'm sorry. KK. New Jersey. Pastor Dana Berry. Y'all say hello to Pastor Dana. Hey, Pastor Dana.
Y'all congratulate her.
Deshaun.
Y'all congratulate her.
Yeah. I know. Congratulations again.
Brad.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Frankie from Augusta, Georgia.
Come on, Augusta, Georgia.
Brian from Atlanta, ATL.
Hey, my brother. Hey, Pastor Brian.
Faith Victoria from Mississippi. She said, good evening, everyone. Mississippi, Missouri. She said Tennessee, Arkansas, from all the places. Okay. Jolanda Harris. Hey, Jolanda. She said, hey, ladies.
Hey, Queen.
Melinda for Arkansas. And Justina from Dallas, Texas. How you doing? Welcome into the space. Valerie, I guess she said, y'all looking good, ladies. She said, y'all looking good. Thank you. Cynthia, Louisiana. Come on, come in, boo. Come on, she said, let's go. Christy from San Antonio. Hello, how you doing? Monroe, Louisiana. Come on, Louisiana. Rakitha Waller. So who else we have in there? Texas represented. Adrian Johnson. Hey, ladies from Nashville, Tennessee. Hello, lady. Hello. Erica, I like your name, girl. Arkansas. How you doing? Rona, I believe it is. Moorhead, Mississippi. Hello, come on in, Mississippi. Shelby, I believe that's what it is. Harris, checking in from MD. So that's what the MD area is.
That's Maryland.
Maryland.
Come on, DMV.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see who else we have in here. I don't see any more names. Natasha Harris from Rockford, Illinois. Hello, Natasha. Good evening. Let's see. So your book dropped, huh, Bishop?
Yes, yes, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight from the book. Questions from that, as we did the men. If you all could, everybody, if you would invite and share, please, just invite and share. Put in some names of people that need to hear the ladies. It's probably going to help you tonight. These are all accomplished ladies that are on here tonight of different ages, backgrounds. All are women of God. Yeah, Destiny probably gonna look at me strange when I say that, but she is that is what she is too. So yeah.
Hello. Yes, you can't help be what you are.
If I let her pray, y'all would agree. Trust me.
Exactly. Amen.
I didn't say nothing.
Say no more.
Well, they already licensed her in the last clubhouse room we was in a few minutes ago. They licensed her.
Marshall and Cora.
Ordained.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get started, ladies, because I don't want to tie up your time all night. Welcome back, everybody, to When the Right One Comes, the ladies' edition. And we welcome everybody that's on. Starting with, as she said, Queen Destiny. Introduce yourself and tell a little bit about what you do, and then we'll go to Ashley, Jen, and on and on.
Okay, so I am Destiny. Go by Destiny Inspired, the Empowerment Juggernaut. I am a woman empowerment juggernaut, which is a powerful force that crushes everything in its path. And so I empower women to crush the obstacles on their pathway to purpose. Also a best-selling author, a transformational speaker, and servant leader of the Queen Council Empowerment Community. And I am happy to be here with my Queen sisters and Bishop Greg Davis, King Davis, and I'm excited about tonight. And my signal is better this time. I was in and out on the last time we did it, but I'm here and I'm ready.
Awesome. Good evening, everybody. I'm Ashley Winston. I am a content producer and I help people break free and be unstoppable through my books and business coaching. And you can find me online and on social media at the Ashley Winston. And I'm excited to be with you guys again too.
I am a pastor, a thought leader, sister, daughter, friend. I am the executive pastor membership care at House of Hope Atlanta, where Dr. E. Dewey Jr. is our pastor. And in addition to that, I have my own nonprofit that shares counseling services with women and any persons in crisis. And I love preaching God's word, teaching God's word, and seeing God's people discipled into a whole relationship with Him.
And a fiery preacher.
Absolutely. There's something to say before. Go ahead. Rev Mother Time.
Come on, Mother.
Oh Lord. Hey everybody. My name is Diamond. I am a native Washingtonian. Currently in my last year of seminary at Princeton Theological Seminary. I'm excited about graduation. What else about me? I'm a preacher. I am a entrepreneur. I have a clothing line. You can look it up, diamondgigant.com, get you some gear. And yeah, just like Jen, I am a daughter, friend, confidant, anything you need me to be. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm excited to be here today with Bishop Davis and all of these wonderful, wonderful women.
Mm-hmm. I am Yolanda Murder of Raleigh, North Carolina. I am a life coach, preacher, and an author of a book called Breaking Up with Comparison. Just really encouraging people to be confident in God's plan for you. Do my life coaching. I help people to really discover their gifts, unearth their gifts, walk in their gifts through a signature course called Gift Institute. So that's something that was really birthed through my passion of really pushing people and allowing them to see the gifts that are already lying within them, knowing that gifts are not meant to be lying dormant, but they're meant to make room for you. So I'm really excited to be here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is ANESHA Sharp. I am a best-selling author, a speaker, a minister. I coach women. I'm a certified relationship and life coach, and also the founder of the Esther Effect, the online women's community. And just super excited to be with you all tonight, ladies, and the one and only Bishop Greg Davis.
Oh, you didn't say nothing about being co-host of the radio show.
And see, it's so many things I do. I'm trying to remember everything. That's why I was going so slow. And the co-host of When the Right One Comes Radio with the one and only, again, Bishop Greg Davis. And we go on tonight at midnight. So I'm excited.
Well, you know, I'm like ANESHA. How can you list them all? But I am a pastor from Louisiana, the Boot, the modern day proverbial woman who has curated a community of power women that come together called emerge-21.com. I love what I get to do other than preaching and teaching and singer. Most people don't know I'm a songwriter, recorded, and have written for artists who have won rewards. So you can Google that. Yeah. So most people don't know that. However, I also am a brand architect in business, the mother of 3 young adults, and I run a very successful branding agency.
All right. That is everybody. Welcome, ladies. Again, I appreciate you all. Hey, Dr. Irish.
Hey, Dr. I. Hey.
Welcome.
Hey, Dr.
Comment anytime you get ready if you like. So tonight I wanna ask questions from my book that I am just so excited about. I sent out more books than I have in any pre-order. I am just like excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so it's called Preparing and Positioning for the Right One. The last 2 weeks we've been talking about it with the men, but of course it's about a woman. The man doesn't have as much, she gets him and he dies. He doesn't have as much play in the book. So I want to get it from a woman's perspective, preparing and positioning for the right one. We know the story. It's of Ruth and Naomi and Boaz are the main characters. We know that Naomi is the lead character to start off with. Her and her husband leave their country and go to another country to survive, and the two sons meet 2 women by the name of Ruth and Oprah. They marry them. Now here's the twist of the whole thing that I've heard quoted for years, and that is that people want their Boaz. We don't want their Boaz. That's the focus. But Ruth, actually, that was not her focus. She had been married 10 years to her husband, which was Naomi's son. 10 years. The father died. The 2 sons died. So Naomi, Oprah, and Ruth are now widows. Oprah, Naomi decides to go back to her country. She is now wanting to change her name because she is sorrowful. She's bitter. She's a bitter woman. The text says that, Jen. The text says that she is bitter. And she says, listen, even if I found another man had more children, they would not grow up fast enough for you all to have husbands again. So what y'all gonna do? So Oprah says, yeah, I'm out of here. Deuces. I'm gone. Okay. Then Diamond, Ruth says, your God will be my God, your people will be my people. I'm with you. Okay. It's another whole story. We could talk about the wisdom that Naomi brought. But the first thing she does, and to me is very important, she takes on the God of the man before she takes on the man of God. She takes on the God of the man. How important is to make sure as a woman, your relationship with God is good. Is good. But I want a twofold, ANESHA. How important is it that your relationship is good with God first before you get a man? But how important is his relationship with God? And hear me. Is it important that his relationship is stronger than yours as a woman?
That's good. Look,
We have to lean in.
You know what? You're an interviewer, and you know it's just like preaching. You know when you got a good point, you be like, "I know that was good myself."
I know that was good.
So I was riding home today because I had to preach a couple times. You know how that is, Jen. You tape all them sermons in advance. I got 2 more to do this week, so I can be way ahead. But I was coming, I'm like, yeah, no, but it's important that she knows the man. But I want to ask a woman, how much of God should he know? Is it all right for a woman to know God more than her husband, but as long as he knows God? Because what if your husbands are not preachers? What if you don't get preachers? Maybe if you get a good brother at the church who's strong as an ox. He is a leader, but he's not a preacher like you. He may be a great boss, you know. He knows God in the part of his sins, but he ain't a preacher. So two questions. Hold on. 2 questions. The first question is, how important is that you know God first, because she took on the God of the man before she found the man God. Y'all want to take that first? And then go to the other part, then y'all handle both of them.
We could break it up because I believe we can unpack both of them in a serious manner. So
go ahead.
Okay, well, I think it's vital that I know the God of the man first, because honestly, people can start off amazing and come through a season where you can't identify who they are. And it's better that I know how to tap into who created you, so I don't feel tempted to take you on out of here. No, I'm just playing, but it's better than I feel is vital. If you want me to deal with the other dynamic of it?
Yeah, you can help both at the same time.
Well, here's another thing, how I see this thing. When God, how he created us a little lower, we were made a little lower than the angels, but when Jesus came to redeem us, he set us in high places. If I marry a man below the authority that I've been given in Christ, then he's still subject to certain things that I no longer am subject to. But if he's leading me, then he puts a lid, or he lids my life in a certain way. There's certain things he can't access. So no, he don't have to be a preacher, but he has to walk in his divine authority as a man of God, whatever he's doing. That's my thought.
But you didn't answer you answered, but you didn't answer. Should he know as much? Should he be?
No, I think we learn from one another, honestly. But he should know enough to know his authority and his position in Christ, and have a discipline about his own life. I evolve fast, so I believe that he needs to be someone applying himself. He shouldn't be codependent on my spirituality. No.
So yes or no? Should he know God more than you? Yes or no?
No, not necessarily.
Okay. All right. Okay. Who wants to go? Go ahead, Sister Winston, because you.
I'm listening. No, I definitely, to answer your first question, I believe you absolutely have to know the God of the man first, because there's gonna be some days you can't get through to that man. You're gonna have to know God to the man, you know, and vice versa, right? So I feel like, the heart of a king is in God's hand; He can turn it. So it's gonna be some days you want that heart to turn, and the only way you can really do that is, God. God can get people the way nobody else can. So that's my answer to number one. Number two, I don't think that my husband has to know as much as I know in the way that I know it.
That's good.
Because it's like, if I'm bringing napkins to the table, I don't need him to also bring napkins to the table, right? If I'm bringing napkins to the table, I need him to bring plates or something else for us to be able to have like a full life. So I won't say that he has to know more than me, but he has to know enough to steward what God put inside of him. That's my answer.
Okay. Jen?
I'll jump in.
Okay, go ahead, Anisha. Go ahead.
So I guess I have an experience with this, and then just my personal thoughts on it now. Having been married for 17 years, that was a part of my story. I was in ministry and still am, but was starting ministry early in my marriage. My ex-husband was in church, but just didn't have the same level of passion as I had. And so that does make it difficult. So I think for me going forward, I don't know that they have to know God the way I know God. However, I would like there to be a certain level of passion, because I do have a passion for that. And so I do want to know the God of the men as well. And so he doesn't have to know as much as me, but I would like for him to be able to have the same level of passion. So yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I first of all, the ladies, I think, have done a great job so far, kind of unpacking some of the key issues. I think when I look at the story of Ruth and Boaz, it's very important to know and to recognize Boaz was accomplished.
There you go.
I think the power and the way that these relationships become complementary is in the confidence of both parties. So I think the woman must have a relationship with the Lord. But I think once you get with someone, and perhaps you may know more Bible or more theology or whatever than that gentleman, it's important for him to be confident in whatever he's doing.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the power and the way we have a complementary relationship with each other is by recognizing both of us have strengths and weaknesses. And I can compliment you and be confident in who I am at the same time. So I think if we look at it from that perspective, that I don't think it's necessarily important who knows what or who knows more, but are you confident in what you do know? And will you honor me as a woman in what I know and be able to say, well, my wife is better at that than I am. And I can say, well, my husband's better at that than I am. Nobody loses.
That's right.
So I think the power is in the confidence.
But can he still cover you spiritually if he knows God less? Because not only is he to cover you as a provider, a protector, but a priest.
But I believe God is our ultimate covering, honestly. Okay, well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, the man is supposed to follow God. And
you believe a man should know more than the woman?
No, I didn't say that. It's not about me. So the woman's perspective. I know, because I often hear people say that the woman, the man follows God, and as long as he follows God, the woman will follow him, the children follow. So how do you unpack that scenario? I mean, can he cover you? Can he cover you spiritually and be spiritually less inclined?
I know some people that was pastors and couldn't cover me. And so it was just because they had the position, but not the power. So long as he had the power, he'll have a position of leading me.
Good.
Go ahead, Dan.
And then, Bishop, I think the question becomes, what is your metric of more power, right? When we look at these like levels, it definitely has to be complementary. But what are we saying? What does it mean to know God more? Than I do. What does that mean? Does that mean that
churchy? That one has a better relationship with God. Is that better? That happens.
It does happen. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, no matter how I said, okay, how you want me to put it? It happens. I have women that tell me that my relationship with God and my connection with God is stronger than my husband, and it bothers me. I want him to be more into the word, blah, blah, blah. You all are accomplished women of God. You have a relationship with God. Is that an incompatibility? This is a serious question. Is that an incompatibility? You can be unequally yoked in that way too. I'm just saying.
That's true.
I think sometimes as women, because all the women, and I count myself in this too, being a woman, sometimes you are definitely accommodating to what you are open to. And so because as accomplished women, sometimes that can come off as intimidating. So sometimes when we're answering these questions, we're considering the fact that we are probably going to encounter men that are in some areas not where we are. And so being accommodating women, we want to make space for that. But the truth of the matter is, when I look back in the history of my life, for me, a man has to be able to cover me. And that's just the truth of it, because at some point, unless he is comfortable in who he is, at some point, women who show up the way we do can feel intimidating to a man, even a man who loves you very much. It can still be intimidating that people are, cheering you on. People love you. People are listening to you. People are buying your books. People are coming to your trainings, and they don't have that level of influence. And so unless he has the level of passion and the ability to cover me, not the same way I would cover him, but in a way that makes me feel secure, makes me feel safe, it could be an issue.
Well, Lapathoth was not on the battlefield. Deborah was. So as long as he's a burning flame and got his own Holy Ghost and a confidence and assurance about himself, I think that you can find the right one that's not necessarily where you're standing, but they're powerful in their own place. And as long as I'm complimentary to covering my husband, being a rib to that man in what he's called to do, I believe he can cover me. I believe he can lead me. Yeah. I believe he can pull more out of me than somebody in a position.
Yeah, and I feel like a man that's seeking God, like for me, it's not about him knowing more, but it's to seek together. Because a man that's seeking God on your behalf, if he's humble enough to seek God, he'll know what to do with you. So really for me, it's not about the power, it's about the level of the humility and the heart posture of the man. Because like Pastor Erica was saying, like they can have the position and not have the power, and then they can have the position and the power because of the influence and still not have the confidence, like Jen said. But you get all of that when you seek God, when you're in a place of just surrendering, right? To God and his will and his way. You can hear and know what to do and how to, steward, navigate, cover your wife.
That's true.
I'm not talking as much about as the position as I am the positioning of their relationship, though.
Oh, well, that's the answer. If that relationship is not there, you can't cover me.
Yeah, you can't.
That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Destiny.
So you were saying not about position as far as position in ministry?
He could just be a good brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for me personally,
good brother?
He doesn't have to know more than me, but I need to know that when I need to get a prayer through, I need to know that he can call down heaven, right? Like I need to know that he has a relationship strong enough to where I can trust his judgment, trust his leadership, trust him when he says he heard from God, and trust that he has a passion and a fire for God. So he doesn't have to be so strong and casting out devils and laying on hands and prophesying. I don't need all of that. I have a pastor, right? I have a pastor, right? But I need him to be able to boldly and confidently lead me. And I need to be able to boldly and confidently trust the God in him. So regardless of if it's greater than mine or not, I need to know that it's great enough that I can trust his counsel. I can trust his wisdom. I don't have to worry about if he's praying for me or if I got to pray for him, the family, all the people in my queendom. Like I need to make sure that he has a strong, solid enough relationship. But he definitely don't have to be a pastor or have to operate in any type of capacity to where he has to shepherd and lead other people. Just make sure you can lead me. Just make sure, what God tell you about me if he told you something. Like that's all I care about. The rest, again, I'm divorced. So I've been with someone. He was not as spiritual as me, but however, his relationship and his hunger for God, I saw it grow. And I was impressed by the growth that took place. And although we weren't compatible enough together for a marriage, I trusted that if he said he was praying and God showed him something, I believed that, right? Because I was the one that was born and raised in church. He wasn't. He didn't come from the church. He came into the church and was saved, but I saw how his passion for God grew, right? So although I was the one operating in ministry, he was the one that still had a strong passion and a desire for the things of God. And that's enough for me.
Yolanda?
I completely agree, Destiny. They don't have to have a position. They don't have to be a pastor, a bishop, apostle, any of those things. I feel it's down to your contentment and your fulfillment with your relationship with God. Because when a man is not content and is unfulfilled, then a lot of times that unfulfillment is projected onto you. And then you begin to develop a sense of inadequacy because nothing that you do is ever good enough.
Good enough.
And it's like that unfulfillment takes up so much space in the relationship that it gets to a point where they can no longer recognize the ingredients that you are adding to their life that does bring fulfillment. So when you are fulfilled and content in your relationship with God, and like she said, that confidence to seek God for yourself, also to know how to take care of my heart because of your heart after God. That's a major thing. You know, I've been in a relationship with a leader and they did not have that component where they were able to take care of my heart. So that way, in that instance, a lot of times they really was missing that point, even having that heart after God, because I'm his daughter. You know, he loves me and he wants to make sure that whatever situations that I'm in, that I'm with somebody that has their heart as well as is taking care of my heart. And then, of course, the first question about should I be, of course, about that God. And yes, of course, I want to make sure that my relationship with God is strong as well, because I need to hear from God for myself. I mean, I've been proposed to twice and the Lord said no. And I listened, even though I was devastated. I knew that because of my obedience that I was blessed. And it really showed me how obedience can really be the currency of miracles. I had so many miracles take place because I was able to hear from God for myself concerning a relationship, even with somebody that was more spiritual than me.
All right. We saw Pastor John Terrius Tate, who's a part of our men's panel on Monday night. Welcome, King Tate.
Hello. Hello, Pastor.
Let me know if any other men out there. Okay, so in my book, and we're talking about my book, Jen is having a hard time there. We're talking preparing and positioning for the right one, and Marlinda will put it up periodically so that you can order tonight, and we're diving into it. So I said, you should not be waiting for a man to come into your life to validate your existence. God has already done that. And I'm trying to dispel, and this is not really for a lot for you all, it's more for people that are listening. Hey, Pastor Carlton Lynch, welcome, one of our other men and co-creator of the Men's Night with me. How you know, the story of Boaz, you know, we've heard it for years that she was waiting on. How important is it to get your own existence together before they exist in your life? I'm good tonight, boy. This is
good. I'm for that, snatch my own life before someone comes, because I want to be a compliment, not a burden. I want to be a blessing, not a burden, a compliment, not a crisis for anyone. So I'm for that.
Yeah, I also think, like, you know, God gives each one of us our own purpose. And I think it becomes problematic, at least in my experience of like coaching women over the maybe last 5 years or so. It seems that a lot of times when women get down the line in their marriages, if they haven't found purpose, if they haven't found fulfillment in who they are outside of their husband or the relationship, it's extremely problematic down the line because they have nothing going on, especially if they're married to a man who has a lot of influence. So I think it's very important to know what it is that God has for you, even if that purpose is around your husband's ministry or around his business or whatever, still developing in that, still developing skills for that, and being your own person. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I agree as well with the other two ladies. I mean, you definitely want to have your own identity because hopefully you're marrying someone who has his own.
Indeed.
I'm not going to. So I definitely think that it is important for you to know who you are before you unite with someone else in marriage.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
I kind of look at it like this, like, you know, a mate is not, what do you say, come and go, right? But you have to deal with you, right? So if your whole identity is wrapped in, you know, the other party, then perhaps you all aren't together anymore. Something happens, and then now you're devastated because you never took the time to create your own existence or really grab hold of your path. So again, I think it's extremely important, and it really touches your first question about getting to know, God first, getting to know yourself through God before trying to be a part of another relationship, a part of a relationship. Yeah.
To Diamond's point, that's absolutely correct, because that's just from my own experience. When you kind of when you don't establish, so I think it does a couple things. For one, when you know who you are and you've established your identity, your existence, and your reason for being, then it also refines your taste and who it is that you choose to attach yourself to and marry, right? Because when you don't know who you are and you don't know what you want, where you're going, then any destination will get you there, right? So anyone that kind of comes along, you kind of maybe go along with it because you haven't established your identity first in Christ, and then just your identity in this world. Why was I created to exist? And it doesn't mean you have to know exactly, your full purpose yet, but have the sense of knowing who you are as a woman. So for me, again, I got married pretty young, but at the time I didn't really have my own identity. My identity was made up of, my father, who was a pastor, my mother, who was a big radio person in the gospel industry in the city, right? And then my ministry, then I got married. So my identity was compiled with all of these layers of who everyone else was. And so I really didn't know who I was. So as a result, when the marriage did dissolve, I was left trying to figure out, who am I? What do I want? Where am I going? What do I even do from here? And so it's important that you kind of establish that so you don't lose yourself. A lot of times you hear women say, I lost myself in this marriage, or I lost myself in a job, because sometimes we can't lose what we've never found, sometimes we never find ourselves to begin with. And then we don't know what we want and what we stand for and who we want to be and how we want to show up in the world. So because when you get married, I do believe that two shall become one, but you do it complementary, right? And a good man, the right one, when he comes along, he's not going to try to strip you of your identity and strip you of who you are at your core. So I think it's important that you already establish who you are. So when you do combine and become one with someone else, you're complementary to one another, and what you are is greatness. So
Bishop, can I chime in? I won't be long, but can I chime in on that right there? I believe a woman without a sense of purpose become a burden to her husband because she creates a God complex. And so that means you put like a weight on a man that he was meant to have, and you're wondering why he's breaking under the pressure and the expectations that you're having because you don't have a life. I believe we have to be interdependent, not codependent. That creates a codependent culture.
I think sometimes, and this is for men and women, but and you all can chime in, Jen. You can pick it up here. I think sometimes we bring people in our lives, and it's self-sabotage to bring somebody in your life when you're not ready yourself.
Good.
What happened? You don't know yourself, and I do these to be a part of my whole relationship piece with other voices. And ladies that are watching this, you can learn from these women. They're accomplished. So I hope you're taking notes, and this is just not entertainment for you, because we could have just did this on Zoom and everybody could just made some money. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
But at the end of because everybody's a coach here in their own way. And so I think you bring this person in your life and you don't know yourself yet. And now you're trying to get to know somebody, especially when you're younger. You're trying to get to know somebody and you're still learning yourself. Understand that we're ever evolving, even me being older. I'm still evolving. But I'm talking about now, if I don't know me by the time I done got this age, then I'm ill-informed. I should, even a baby at a certain age, they have to walk. If they're not, then they're saying there's something wrong with the child. If he's not saying mama, dad by a certain time, there's something wrong. So Jen, talk about knowing to thine own self be true, knowing yourself before you bring somebody else into the picture. And it kind of coincides with the overall question that I've talked about.
So a lot of where I live and where I like to show up and where God allows my oil to flow is in taking these great theological truths and making them palatable for the everyday Christian woman, the everyday believer. And immediately when you were speaking, I thought about Howard Thurman's concept, this whole idea that the earth is waiting for the sound of the genuine, the sound of your genuine. I on a very basic level, if I just chunk that down to its most basic parts. What it means is, woman of God, you need to be able to answer 2 questions about yourself before you engage in relationship. Who am I and where am I going?
There you go.
If we're going to do this, like you said, Bishop, we need to help people. My testimony is one in which I had an opportunity to get married. Great brother, didn't work out. Engagement ended because we realized we were headed in 2 different directions. And his issue with me was mainly about my call, what I was anointed to do. And because I knew who I was and where I was going, I was able to make a decision that was best for me. And so I think as women of God, we need to be able to answer those 2 questions, and that will help us to prepare for when the right one does come. Who am I and where am I going? And if this person doesn't help honor or doesn't honor in some way who I am and doesn't support where I'm going, it's an easy decision.
Facts.
That's good. Welcome everybody to When the Right One Comes, the ladies edition. And I mean, y'all hitting, y'all came with y'all A game. Bishop ladies, when the right one comes, women. Hey, Broderick.
Hello.
What about men? That hit it out the park. Okay, so let's move in the book. All right. And Marlinda put it up there in case somebody want to order in a minute. So let's move in the book. She now has Naomi. She got God. She got Naomi. She got Naomi's people. How important? I'm gonna start with Reverend Evangelist Yolanda Mercer. How important is it to, and shall I say, also model? All right. How important is it to have somebody? When I was growing up, you had the woman and men, the mothers of the church, the seniors, the missionaries, whatever denomination came up, they pull you to the side and say, boy, what you doing on the side of the church with that girl? They call the girls, girl, you mess around with that boy. He give you a problem 9 months later. You know, they say all kind of crazy stuff. Y'all didn't grow up in the kind of church I grew up. But how important is it to have that wisdom that Naomi was to Ruth? We're in the wisdom phase. We're in the preparation stage now. How important is that to develop you, but to also teach you how to get ready for a man or assist?
I think it's very important to have that wisdom. Definitely when you're trying to be prepared for marriage or just a relationship in general. When you have that type of wisdom, to me, it's during a time where you are being hidden so that you can truly be equipped for what it is that you're asking for. One of the things that I mentioned in the previous room was that a lot of times our requisition does not match our reach. We are requesting something from God, this man who we have all of these things on our checklist that we are looking for, but can you actually reach that? Is it something that you have the capacity for? That's and good. A lot of times we have to be mindful of ourselves that, you know, how can I prepare for something? How can I prepare for a relationship? How can I prepare for a marriage that I don't even have the capacity for? And so having that type of wisdom, that type of guidance, to me is definitely necessary.
All right.
We lost her. Oh my God.
Oh, we lost her right in the middle. Okay. Somebody else pick it up. Y'all remember the question?
Yeah, you were talking about
wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember. I'm just saying, I just want to make sure everybody. Who wants to take Anisha?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I do believe it's absolutely necessary. I think it's important for us to allow ourselves to, and I'm not going to say pattern, but I would just say learn from someone who's been where we're going. So for me personally, that's very important. I don't just have a woman who is where I want to go, but I also have a spiritual father who's been married for 20 something years. And so he and his wife are very instrumental in this season of my life. And just gleaning from them and learning, marriage is an old concept, even though we're in a new culture and people are moving different and things are different. The foundational concepts of what then works now. So for me, I think that's very, very important.
Welcome, Dr. Oren Perry, one of our men. Y'all supporting tonight. I love it. Y'all supporting the ladies. All right. Anybody else? I'll just take one more person on this question and we can move on.
I'll say, go ahead, Dom.
The wisdom of Naomi. Go ahead. Who is going?
No, Destiny, you go ahead.
So we'll fight all night. I'll just throw in quickly. It's definitely important that we have wisdom from God, godly wisdom, because again, I know some aged women who aren't that wise when it comes to certain things. So I do think it's important, the wisdom that you are gaining and gleaning. Some of the things that I heard from, women that I should be able to model myself and look up to, some of the things that they've said has not really been, some people a little more old fashioned when it comes to things, and not in a bad way, because I respect old fashioned ways, because I think there's very much value in it. But even, and I hate to get churchy, but even, in the book of Job, when Elihu talked, he was like, the aged aren't always wise, right? And they don't always have understanding, but it's inspiration of God. Because I've had some women who've given me advice that was like, no. Or I've heard people say stuff like, especially in a more religious context, things that you should do just for the sake of doing it, or just, you just marry as a good person, or just, but they don't really prepare you like you should. So I think it's very important who you are listening to and whose wisdom you're getting. All wisdom isn't good wisdom for everybody. I think, especially when you're a kingdom woman, like some wisdom it's the wisdom of the world and not always the wisdom of God. So it may be for some people, but when you have a very specific purpose in life, you can't always accept everybody's wisdom. So I think it's very important that when you find those people who are tried, tested, and approved, and definitely have the trajectory of where you're headed and what you want, that you do have those people in your life that can speak into you and that can help guide you get to the destination of, becoming the right one or finding the right one a lot quicker.
Preaching.
All right. Diamond, you want to chime in on that? Thank you, Pastor Lynch, for the seed. They sowing already. Thank you for the seed, supporting the ladies.
Man.
Okay, go ahead, Diamond.
No, we're good. We can go to the next question.
Okay, let's have some fun. So she's preparing. Okay. Y'all do know that the Naomi is she widows, once the husband died in culture gen, she broke.
Yes.
Oh, let's bring. I'm sorry, we didn't bring back Melinda. Yolanda been down there for a while. Right, she's been down there for a while. Melinda, what you doing? She gonna take me back. So she broke. She got land, all that stuff, but she ain't got no man. And if she don't find, either she gonna find a man, or she gonna lose everything. And that's just the culture. All right. So here's the question. She preparing. Is this? No, I'm going to say it is. This is more about a business deal than it is about being in love. In the culture of the Jen,
Look at you get ready.
in the days of old, there were arrangements, and we talked about this on Clubhouse earlier. I can't remember so many rooms about arrangements, and that maybe we should go back to arrangements. Okay, not shotgun weddings, but arrangements. Okay, they're saying that arrangements sometimes where this is an arrangement, this is a business deal. They need somebody to redeem them. Kinsman redeemer is what it's called.
Indeed.
They need somebody to come in and pay the bills. That's the bottom line. Okay, so question: is it all right to marry for business? Is marriage a business? Should it be tied to business? Should we not just go with the heart? Because the heart wants what it wants, but sometimes the heart, glory to God, I'm gonna preach.
Glory to God.
Hallelujah. The heart, but sometimes the heart deceives us. Sister Winston getting ready. She rocking on the chair now. She's moving back and forth.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Because we talked about this last night. Do we check the credit score? Do we see whether it's a 400 or 800? If it's a 400, is that a deal breaker?
Well,
Do we check? Do you marry a man who ain't got his own house? He got to move in your house. Is it a business deal, ladies, or you just go with the heart? Is it all right to marry for business? Should business be a part of it? I think y'all got. I think I picked in this book that I wrote right here. It was a business deal. Okay, go ahead, Jen.
go ahead, Jen. Unpack it for us first, because
The self-proclaimed, not the self-proclaimed, the very well taught theologian.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't hear you. Please don't. Don't turn it off now.
Y'all ready? Y'all can hear me? As I was preparing for tonight, I did look at it. I looked at Ruth Chapter 2 in both the NRSV and the Message. And the way I see how this all came about when Ruth met Boaz is similar to how our devotional translation, the Message, kind of renders it. It says, one day, the Moabite foreigner, Ruth, she says, I'm going to work. Going out to glean among the
fields. But go ahead. You want to go on all the way there. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there is some effort on her part. She's not just trying to broker a deal. She's bringing something.
I'm going there. Go ahead.
And so I think, in a sense,
so why did she go there though?
Well, we understand culturally. We understand the social context. But what I'm trying to do is make it relevant. Take the wasness of the text into the thenness of now.
All right. And he about here. Go ahead and follow your check. Come on now, Jen. Work it.
That's my pastor. That's a quote from my pastor, Dr. Smith. Shout out. When we look at this in a modern context, what I see happening is a woman saying, I'm going to do my part. Yes. But it's okay to have a standard.
Yes.
For who I want to link up with. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think that we should say, if you don't have a certain credit score, then we can't be together? I can't necessarily co-sign on that.
Come on.
I think there are some guys with a 700 who will wreck your life.
Come on, Jen.
So I think we just have to have a healthy balance. And to quote the wisdom of those women in my life who are sage, you just got to know what you can deal with and what you are graced to deal with.
Yeah.
And if you are graced to handle some of those things, and the two of you can partner so that you can both become your best selves, then the 400 may work, especially if he's faithful, he's integral, and he loves the Lord. So I think there has to be a healthy balance.
What's your grace to unpack? But that go back to knowing yourself, knowing enough about yourself and the God of your life to know what your grace to handle.
Okay. Business deal. Y'all, we heard Jen.
I'm sorry. I can't do all business.
What does that mean?
I can't. Some things are important, but I'm siding with Jen on this because there's some things that are pertinent. They're important, but honestly, you, like she said, a 7 can wreck your life.
A 7 can wreck your life in other way too.
A 4 can too, but it's just like I just feel like this.
8 can wreck your life too, though. I'm saying it, yeah, but isn't that part of it? I think. Well, I'm gonna finish listening. Go ahead.
I probably would. Let me be honest. I'm not about doing mergers for the sake of financial security. When you think about a woman like myself, I can go work for myself and take care of myself if I need be, if I'm going to have peace.
So you're telling me that it don't make a difference what a man has?
I don't think so. It's based on what you grace to handle. For me, I'm not speaking for all the ladies here. I'm speaking for me. No, no. I've seen some people with.
So you don't. You're saying to me that you don't.
I'm not married for business.
It's no business in it.
I believe that you should have some balance in the way you take care of your business, but it's not going to be a business deal.
So it's no business in it.
Well, wait, see you playing. But there is, I mean, it does matter if you have work. You gotta have
the tension in the text. This is the tension in the text. It's like
it is. And you do need to work. Let me be honest. I no, I'm not taking care of you. Hey, mama, have you a job?
But it's almost borderline with what you're saying, though.
No, not true. Because you can get somebody who comes to the table with it all, lose it all. What we do then?
Why can't you just wait for the right one that would have it all, though?
Well, that right one could lose it all. Am I equipped to? Am I grace? The right one could lose. Let's say we did this just on the merit only.
The wrong one has already lost it all. So you're starting off at a.
No. I didn't say zero. I'm sorry. I worked too hard to start at zero. You have to have.
So you can work yourself. So I'm like.
No, see, that's a tricky question, but I can put it in balance and say this. You have to have some type of grind, some type of ambition for yourself. However, I cannot say for me that it's going to be solely on what you have. See, I'm around stuff all the time. I'm not impressed by none of that because I can see, I can have all this stuff, driving Audis, BMWs, and in a prison. And for me, it won't work.
That's not the story. That's okay.
I think I might be misunderstanding what you're asking me. So,
if you say business deal, I think it's the verbiage for me. Really, I think it's the verbiage saying business deal. Does your credit matter?
That it was a business deal.
Yeah, I know. I think maybe we feel better if we didn't call it that. I think that's what the issue is. But in all actuality,
the men didn't have a problem with that word, but it's amazing how the women think.
I'm just thinking the psychology. I think when you say it, I think that it comes across the wrong way. But I do understand what you're saying because I do believe that for me the credit matters. It matters. Do you need to have perfect credit? No. My credit is in the 7. I have good credit. Do you have to have a credit score that matches mine? No. However, that's something that I think we do need to know coming into it because that will affect things. That can affect some things if we're trying to build something together. So if your credit isn't where it needs to be, cool. Is that a deal breaker? No, because if I love you enough and I do have the heart component in it, let's work on this together. I know a girl. I know a king. I know a queen that can help you out with that. So let's work on that. So when we do collaborate and come together, we don't have unnecessary obstacles that are pulling us apart because I can come into it loving you. You can come into it loving me. But one of the biggest reasons for divorce rate in the world now is not cheating or infidelity, it's financial trouble, right? So does it mean those people didn't love each other? No, but it means that they didn't consider a business aspect of it coming into it. Does it have to be like an official business deal? No, but I think there is business that needs to be discussed and handled. So credit, yes. Do you have children? Yes. Do you have baby mamas? Yes. Like let's put this on the table and let's discuss this now so it doesn't hinder us. So I think there is definitely business involved, at least for me. I speak for my 3 E's, my environment, my experiences, and my exposure. So it matters. We need to know.
That's valid. I'm sorry. That's
it. Yeah, no, because even when it comes to taxes, like from experience,
when you said business deal, I couldn't do business deal.
I gave you 29.5 minutes.
But you said business deal. I can't do a merger.
That's it now. Come on, Destiny. Finish.
Business deal. Okay.
It matters even when it comes to taxes. Like, what do you are you in tax trouble? Do you owe the IRS money? These things matter. They do matter, right? And it's not definitely a deal breaker. It may delay, right? It's not a deal breaker, but it may delay because that may be something that you need to handle before you bring me into the picture. Because now your debt becomes our debt, right? And so if that's something we need to discuss, the business aspect of it, let's do that first and let's work that out. So then we can continue our journey. If we are meant to be as the right ones, then it will work even better with unnecessary obstacles. So yes, for me, there is a business component of, again, I don't speak in absolutes, but from my experience and what I've already encountered, there are a lot of things I don't want to experience again. So for me, there is a business aspect too that I have to take into consideration, especially if you're a woman who's built something. And the same thing for men. I feel men should do the same thing and protect themselves and protect what they're building. You got to know what you're getting yourself into because you can destroy everything you built on the sake of because I love you. No. but I loved him. But now you broke, now the credit back.
But she said grace for it though.
Hold on, Erica. Hold on. Let them.
I'm just saying.
Okay, you gotta let them talk.
I'm gonna let them talk.
I'm gonna mute you. You have 2,900 minutes. Okay.
I was just gonna piggyback on what Destiny was saying. Like, I agree, it's not all about business, but I'm gonna say something that's probably not gonna be very popular. But I feel like actually, if we looked at marriage more like business, we would make better decisions. I actually think we would end up. Bishop.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay. Yeah, I think we would make better decisions because, like, for me as a businesswoman, if we're talking business, there are certain questions that I'm going to ask because I'm thinking about the future of my business. I'm thinking about the future of where I want to go, what it is that God has shown me that I'm responsible unto the Lord to make sure it manifests, right? So when I think about a relationship, or, well, forget relationship, just a marriage, which is the most important relationship in your life outside of your relationship with God, it's super important that you are thinking about it on some level like you do business. It's a partnership on some level. And I feel like we don't ask these questions and we don't look at it like business. And we get into it because of our emotions, because of feelings, because of love. And then we look up many times and stuff is in shambles because we didn't look at it for what it was, like Destiny was saying. Now, I'm not saying he got to have a perfect credit score, right? I'm not saying that, but I do think it's important because it's a partnership. You don't go into business because you feel like you like somebody. You don't make a business deal because you feel like they have you like the way their business, all those more superficial reasons. You got to really get inside their business and think about what are they bringing to the table. They don't have, and the thing about great partnerships in business is like when it comes to money and stuff, they don't have to have what you have. Like when you think about, I'm like, I'm a business owner and my business is growing. So when the investors come to me, they got the money. I don't have all the money. You know what I'm saying? But I have content, or I have this, or I have the ideas, or I have the infrastructure that they're looking for that can bring a return on their investment. So it makes for a good partnership, even though I don't have the money. So I can't say he's got to have the money or he's got to have the credit, but is he bringing to the table what's going to make the best partnership for what it is that God has predestined us to do together? And I personally think that we should look at it on some level like a business, and it would keep us from a lot of divorces on some level because we get into things because of love. And to be honest, if love was enough, a lot of people would still be together. That's just me. I know that's not me, might not be popular, but that's my.
Because since
I'm with you,
money is one of the, since money is one of the like Destiny said, one of the biggest problems in marriage. Either you're gonna talk. Let me tell you something. Either you're gonna talk about it now, or you're gonna talk. You gonna talk about it. It's two things you're gonna talk about, Jen, Anisha.
Well, let me redeem myself, Bishop.
Huh?
Let me redeem myself because what you asked was
no. Time out.
You said business deal.
No. Hold on.
I'm not saying I still
I'm
want
in the
marriage
middle of
credit
the point. Hold on. You either gonna talk about it now.
I'm gonna talk about it
now, or you're gonna talk about later. You're gonna talk about money now. You're gonna talk about it. So you might as well get it out of the way and talk to business now than later, and then you all upset. I hear y'all ladies, but you don't be upset. No, because like Destiny said,
it happens to me. I'm saying what I know. That's one of those things. While I love him, he loves me. Let's just do it. We'll figure it out as we go. And some of the things were unnecessary. Had I had the wisdom then, or had someone that had wisdom to share me, say, "Hey, Des, these are some questions you should ask and talk about," because we were on two different levels when it comes to what we wanted financially, what we wanted for our future. Like, I want a house, you want rent. Like, you want to pay all cash. But that's because credit is really bad. Like somebody owe money and now we owe, it's a lot. So I just think it's some things you just can talk about ahead of time to make a smoother transition. Because even then, think about people who get married and then, they do it for love. Next thing you know, they out of their fortune because some of these conversations were had. And I think we come in with these unspoken expectations. So I'm expecting him to have it, or I'm expecting him to work out by itself with us never having to talk about it. So I just think, at least for me, that's things. And then vice versa. I don't want to come into a king's life and there's some things that I needed to have talked about or fixed, and I can mess up or not contribute in a better way to his life because these are things that he didn't ask me. I'm like, oh well, I think it would be a problem. I didn't think you would mind, right? So those unspoken expectations, I think we have.
So love has nothing to do with it.
No, we didn't say that.
Oh.
It's a secondhand emotion. Though.
Love definitely got a lot.
I can be second to you, but
Because I love you, we need to talk about it. I don't want something to come in between the love. I don't want something to come in between the love. So let's talk about it now.
You can love them. You can love them. You can love them and be broke.
Yeah, that's not what I was saying. See, I was saying I'm not
love and be good together. You know, I tried
about it is a good thing.
I tried broke. I didn't like it. So where I'm for me now, and y'all can take it up. Anisha can come on. Iris might say ain't looking for merger. I am looking for merger. Go ahead.
I'm not looking for a merger.
Okay.
I'm not married for all love, but I'm not looking for a merger. Just straight business. Either I'm not gonna be proper.
Okay, go ahead, Anisha.
I mean, I love the conversation. I love hearing everybody's thought processes on it. I think for me personally, it's a balance of both. I mean, I definitely need to have all the feels, but I'm not leading with the feels, right? I mean, I'm being awake in love. I'm being awake in the relationship. I'm paying attention to the signs. I'm watching things. I'm listening, and I'm asking questions. So I do think that, there is a side where you do want to see what type of responsibility he's had financially, what type of responsibility he's had with his heart, meaning how is he walking through a place of wholeness? How is he conversating with his children? How is he managing other affairs? How is he managing his business affairs? So those are all important things for me, but I'm really good at watching and listening. And when I don't know, I ask questions. So for me, I think all of that conversation and getting to know each other, that lets me know how far I allow myself to, I call it levels. I have levels. So that lets me know how far I'm going to allow someone into a level of my life. If there are certain things, the attraction's there, the conversation's there, the friendship is there, the communication, the compatibility, the fun is there. And as we start dialoguing more about business and different things you're doing, all those things are there, then that's another level that I will allow you in my space. So I think we have to know that we're not, for me personally, I'm not jumping into something head first without knowledge. I mean, I've done that. I've done the whole fall in love thing. I don't want to fall anymore. It hurts. So I want to be awoke in love. I want to pay attention. So I do want the love component. I want the feels, but I also want to know that he's being responsible in areas of his life that I've been responsible in my life. And that equals compatibility. So that's how my movement works.
Go ahead, Jen.
I just wanted to say, and I love what Anisha just shared. Also, Ashley, a lot of what you said resonated with me. I think there has to be a sense of self-awareness. So for me, that's the dividing line. If you are aware that you have some challenges and you're on the mend with your finances, you are in a credit building program, you are trying to improve your status or improve your financial, your fiscal health. If there's a self-awareness, I can work with that. I think the challenge for me, if I can speak transparently, is if there is no sense of self-awareness, and I'm speaking on both sides. If I, as a woman, am not aware that my finances are not where they should be, and I want a man who is making X amount of dollars a year, I think that's good, Jen. That's unfair.
That's right.
So I just think if there's a sense of self-awareness and you're working on those issues that are a challenge for you, I can work with that. That's where I am.
I also think, I also think it depends, like Pastor Jim was saying, yes, self-awareness, but you have to know what kind of life you want to live and be honest with yourself. Because I meet a lot of women that say, when I'm coaching, oh, I don't want this, I want that. But then I'm coaching them through comparison and, all this other stuff because they're looking at somebody else's life, because deep down, that's what they want. Deep down, they want somebody with money. Deep down, they want somebody who was a pastor or this or whatever it is. So I think it also is important, self-awareness, but to be honest with yourself about what you really want and knowing that you can have it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else on that?
I agree with what everybody said. My opinion, I am definitely wanting to have those conversations about business, about finances. I think a lot of times, we do steer toward that direction of love, but my mindset is legacy. What type of legacy am I trying to leave when it comes to our marriage or our life together? I think also it's important to kind of shift. What are you attracted to? What is your attraction? Sometimes our attraction can lead to the death of what God intended to live inside of us. I may be attracted to men that need me, or I may be attracted to men because I want to help them, or I want to pull them out of situations. And we have to really be self-aware of what we are attracted to, and not waste our time with people that in the end cannot financially be there, cannot have their finances in order or their credit score up, and not waste our time in these situations, knowing that in the long haul, the legacy is not going to be able to be built on the foundation that they are trying to offer. And so one thing that for me is a lot of times you have to ask God, well, Lord, shift my appetite. I don't want to be, here rescuing or babysitting. This is not Yolanda's daycare. I don't want to be babysitting men and trying to nurture them to the point where they want to do well with their finances, or they all of a sudden want to have this mindset of finances at the age of 40 and 30. And just really to stop spoiling your appetite with alternates. I'm tired of counterfeits. I'm tired of alternates. I'm ready for somebody that, can have this business conversation with me and seriously be thinking about legacy.
So, anybody else want to did you speak?
No, I didn't, because I was really just listening.
Good,
but this is a good topic. Me, like at my age, I'm looking at like, what are you doing now to secure your future? And pretty much, if you are not in the space where you are trying to secure your future, and I know that's crazy because I'm 24, right? And most 24-year-olds are like out here buying Jordan. That's what they're doing. But it's like, if you're not doing what it takes now to secure your future, then we don't have anything to talk about, because you're looking down a different path than I am. So again, I ditto everything everybody says. Everything everyone has said, and I was just listening.
Okay, so everybody that's watching, we're gonna go for about another 20 minutes, a little more, 20 minutes probably. Everybody that's watching, if you could either take a shot of the screen or a video and then post it on story and tag all of us so we can let everybody know what we're doing. So if we do it again, then they'd be excited about it. So everybody that's watching, just kind of take a video, a screenshot of it and post it and tag us in there. So let's again, Marlinda, put the book information. If you would like to purchase the book, that's what we're discussing tonight. Figure we have book clubs and discuss everybody else's stuff, so discuss mine tonight. All right. So there's the information. gregdavisshow.com. You can go there. The book is $15 and it's going to go up. I'm going to sign 100 more books. 200 books have went out. Hallelujah to the Lamb.
Amen.
I can say for my grandchildren. Anyway, so please go order the book. Also, if you like to buy this, Go With God. You can go to the same website, gregdavisshow.com. This was birthed on Clubhouse. Those of you that's on Clubhouse know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so now Jen, theologian, NIV Message Bible, American Standard Version, King James. She is now ready. Okay. She's going to the field. Okay. But many women only get ready and they never go to the field. They're waiting for a man to come rescue them and provide for them and take care of. I said many. I didn't say all. Anything is not absolute when I said, but would y'all agree that some do that? They wait for a man for them, okay, to complete them. I don't want a woman that's waiting for me to complete them. I want a woman who's complete and we share the completeness that we both have. Okay. So she's ready. But in the book, I say you can't be ready, willing, and invisible.
That's
You
good.
can't be ready, willing, and invisible. Okay? Get the book, y'all. I say this in the book. I really do. So she goes to the field. Jen, you went a little ahead of me, but I'm gonna catch up with you now. She goes to the field. She starts gleaning. Okay? Gleaning means that there are people ahead of her that are the reapers. Okay? So they getting some of the stuff, whatever they sugar cane, I don't know what they're doing. Okay. And they're throwing some back. She's starting off in the field, but she's in the field. She's about her business. Okay. She ain't waiting on Boaz to come. Destiny, I'm setting it up good. I'm setting it up good. Setting it up good, Queen. Yeah. She doing her thing. She's got her own thing, like Neo said. That's why I love her. Merger. It's the haircut message. So she got her own thing. But some women, they get ready, willing, and they're waiting for the man to show up in their living room. They're waiting for him to just cross. So when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord. But that find don't mean what we all said. It means you stumble upon. He stumbles upon her. She's in the field. So what can we do what can women do not to be invisible? You ready, but you're invisible. I get these DMs, y'all, because I'm doing this coaching thing. I get these DMs from women. Where do I go to find a woman? I mean, the man. Where do I go to find a man? I can't find a man. And the fact is, you got to get in position. You got to go to the places. You know, Irisha, she always says I push her book, but I think it was one of the most dope books that was written, and that is A Table for One. You got to position yourself. Ladies, I submit to you, Miss Winston, start it off.
I think that's so important, Bishop, because it's like you have to have a life. You have to go somewhere. Men are out. There are places. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you have to be out. Go where men are. If you want a man, I don't think you have to pursue them like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying be an aggressive woman, but I'm saying you should go where men are if you want to be seen by a man. And if you don't know where men are, you should find out. You should ask your friends that are dating or are, you know, single and mingling or whatever it is. I think it's important because I hear a lot of that too. And I'm like, if you only at church and on Zoom and you only on one type of Zoom, like, especially now because we're inside, you know what I mean? Like, you really do have to work at it a little bit. I also think it's important to be around your friends that are married. And because a lot of times if you have good friends, they know great people, you know? So I think it's important to be around your friends that are married and hanging out. And sometimes I know women say they feel, you know, a way about doing that because they're single, but how else are you going to meet anybody if you don't go? So that's just my take on it. Go where the men are. Decent, because we don't talk about that, but you do need to look decent. Men are visual. We don't always talk about that, but it is so.
That's in the book of Esther. Yeah.
So I know my married friend one time, she was like, you know, I'm kind of a t-shirt girl. She was like, Ash, you're going to have to switch it up. Put on a lip, do something. You know, she's married. She knows. I'm talking about before, you know. So I think it's important to be around them. Again, that goes back to what we were talking about before, being prepared too. I think when you're around married couples, you're around married women, they know, they let you know what's coming. So you're not, you know, throwing off. You know what to do.
Who else?
So I'm not.
I think too. Oh, really quickly, one thing too is don't be afraid to be in different spaces, like especially the type of man that you are looking for. And that's not to say like socioeconomic status, like looking for a rich or wealthy man. But if you want, you know, someone, if you're a business person and you want someone that's in the business world, then go mingle in that place. I agree with Ashley. Oftentimes, especially those of us who are in church, you know, we kind of go to the young adult mixer and we we think that's where we're supposed to meet. This, right. It's like, no, you have to get out there and don't be afraid, you know, even if it's outside of your comfort zone. You know, don't be afraid. I had to learn that from personal like preference. You know, some of my friends like that because I'm a homebody. You know, I do a lot of traveling, but I'm a homebody. And my friends were like, Diamond, you know, you really need to come with me to this event or come with me to this networking event and things like that. So just don't be afraid to go outside of your comfort zone. You'd be surprised. There are believers that hang out other places. Like believers are, you know, and I'm not saying it in the churchy sense, but you know, you say you want a man of God. There are men of God that hang out at the golf club. They hang out at the country club, you know, other places other than the young adult mixer. So let that help you.
Yeah, and I agree with the ladies. I mean, you definitely want to be visible. I do think you need to be visible in places that are of interest to you. You know, I don't suggest you being visible at a basketball game if you don't really, you know, if you're not interested in a man who is into sports. But if you like to paint or you like, you know, live music or you like wine or, you know, so just some of the things that you enjoy as a woman, making sure that you're visible there. And I also say this, if you are not the type of woman who, because there are men who like women in t-shirts, you know, and so if you're not a woman who that's your natural, and I'm not saying this, my sister shared that, but I just want to say that to women who that may not be their thing. And some women get very discouraged. They're like, I don't like dressing up. I like jeans. I like my t-shirt. Well, there are men who like that. So I always say, be comfortable in knowing who you are. Like, be confident in whatever it is you enjoy, whatever it is you like. Show up in those places, what you enjoy, what you like, and that way you attract someone who has similar compatibility and interest, as opposed to you doing all this extra stuff. You going to all these places, and then you finally get the guy that you like, and the more you get to know each other, you realize you have nothing in common. So definitely get out there, but get out there in places that you enjoy being in.
All right. Anybody else? We've exhausted that.
If I can add to that, it's in also when getting out and going to those places, it's how are you showing up in that space? And not even just talking about what you're wearing or what you got on. You want to look nice, you want to look good, but how are you as a woman showing up? Like, I have a course called How a Queen Commands the Room. Like, when you walk in that space, what confidence level are you bringing? Because sometimes you can step in the room and you may not see him, he or they may see you, right? And not just see you because of what you look like, what you have on, but there's some type of, there's an aura that you bring when you walk in a room, right? There's a presence that you bring when you step in with your confidence, when you step in knowing who you are, when you step in with your intention, setting your intention. When you come into this space, you're commanding that room. You're not demanding attention. You're not demanding a man to look at you, to talk to you. But when you show up as your best self from the inside out, not just what you're wearing, but the woman you are on the inside, you're going to manifest that into the atmosphere, and you're going to be able to draw and attract the kind of man that you're looking for. Now, you're going to get more than the kind you're looking for, because even a bug is drawn to the light. But when you show up as that healthy, whole, healed woman that brings confidence and lets go of the timidity, just really steps up for yourself, and you come into that space, then you're going to be able to draw and attract the type of man that you are desiring for in the first place. So,
and shout out to this brother, Kenneth Mack II. These women are terrific. That is,
Thank you.
Love when brothers do that. Thank you so much. We're almost done. Let's take, they meet in the field. Okay. He shows up from a business trip. He shows up from a business trip. He notices her. He asks, hey, and this is part of what Destiny and what the young lady just said, confidence. He sees something on her when he gets back. Who's that over there? Asks the workers. Who's that? Oh, that's Queen Ruth. She over there. Oh, that's the one that's taking care of Naomi. So her influence has already, it is already known who she is. She already has a good reputation, a good name. And he goes over there and he talks to her and he tells her, I already know about you. Ain't that a good feeling, ladies? Like, really? I already heard about you. You're the one that's been taking care of Naomi. Okay. So that's great. She immediately gets promoted to come sit with the reapers. She done went from being a gleaner to sitting with the reapers, all because of what she had already accomplished. Hold on, before him. Are y'all with me? Y'all agree with that? Okay. So now she goes back home, but here's the next move, and this is where I want to be the end tonight. Hallelujah. She goes to Naomi, and Naomi says, go to the house. She goes to the house. Jen, what's wrong? Am I telling the story all right?
I'm listening.
She goes to the house and she lays down next to him. She's aggressive. Pulls the cover off of his feet so that his feet can get cold. It's a custom, Jen. It's a custom. And he wakes up. She pulls it off his feet so that he can wake up. And they begin to talk. But the twist of the story is that he says there's somebody else that could probably do what you're asking. Okay, there's a couple things in there. Let's talk about her going over to the house. Let's talk about her being the aggressor. Let's talk about her being the one that makes the move here. He doesn't take advantage of when he could. That's another whole story. But we're gonna end here. What do y'all think about a woman being aggressive like that? She went to go, she went over the place and pulled it, That's a signal. Who wants to go first, ladies?
So is that aggression or is that leading the discussion? No, I don't.
Leadership qualities and assertion.
Yeah, I don't think that's aggressive as much as, and ladies, you all can help me out with this if you agree or not. But I do think that I do think that there is times that women we kind of can see the progression of where a relationship is going. And sometimes you just kind of do the little nudge, like, okay, well, I see we're going left, and you just do the little left, and you give him the option. What'd you say, sir?
Where the relationship is going?
Yeah, oftentimes women, we get a feel. I'm not saying all the time, but there's often times where we can get a feel, and even the man can know it's going that way. But sometimes either y'all are timid because maybe you're afraid we're going to reject you. There's a number of reasons why. But you can definitely lead the discussion. I believe what she did was she was instructed on how to lead to what is next. And he may not have made that move had she not gently led the way and allowed him to pick up, as one of the brothers on Clubhouse said, Dwayne, pick up the ball. She threw the ball in the court and he picked it up and dribbled it. So, I mean, I do think there are times, and I think it's okay if we do just do a little nudge, and then let them decide what they're going to do with the nudge. And then you decide if what they decided is something you want to continue in or not. So I don't know that it's aggression, but I do think that she gave a little nudge and he picked the ball up. Yeah.
Okay, who's next? Everybody, come on.
I don't know. Well, Bishop, I'm glad you're discussing this, because when you look at this text theologically, and we've had so many not arguments, but just conversations about this, about Naomi's role in Ruth's life, whether she was helpful, harmful, manipulative, all of those things. And I'm not going to get into that because I know that can go a plethora of ways. But, she told her to go bathe yourself. She was giving her these steps, go bathe yourself. She even goes to the extent to say, don't disclose yourself until he's finished eating, until he finished drinking, all of these things. And so when we look at whether it was, Ruth's motive of being assertive, or whether Naomi was really pushing her to pursue the bait, by any means necessary. And so you can take that and interpret it however you like. But, the thresh, what is it? The threshing floor. I mean, if you look at that theologically and what that means, being interested in marriage, all of that is imperative to the story. And far too often do we not teach the story this way. We look at Ruth and Naomi as this perfect mentor-mentee relationship, and in so many ways, it's not the perfect sense that we would look at today. any situation today where a mentor or mentee, well, a mentor rather, would tell the young mentee, don't disclose yourself until he finished eating and drinking, we would look at them like they crazy, like, girl, you thirsty, right? But this is what the text says. So I was waiting for us to get here, but actually, Jen is the real theologian, Pastor.
I mean, even when you look at the story of Esther, it was not a woman, it was a man. Mordecai got her ready. He had his own, again, Jen, he had his own motives.
His own agenda.
Of the people. And so, you could, that's a whole nother, anyway.
Well, I think we should be strategic. Women should be very strategic in their approach as well. And that's to sum up everything that we're talking about. Anyway, it's about being intentional, assertive, and strategic in our approach. We should not be passive and sitting in our house hoping they knock on the door by a strike of a miracle. Because you knock on my door, you're going to jail if you weren't invited. So I got to be strategic of where I place myself. It's strategic in listening to those people I trust. And like my dad happened to be a person that I've learned to hear on some stuff, and he's a man, but he's been helping me with some stuff, and I was shocked he had that in him. But yeah, so my dad, so being strategic, taking his pointers and dropping some walls, getting in some different places, and not thinking that every phone call that somebody give me is a predator on the line, so being strategic,
Jen?
I mean, I agree with everything everyone has said. Diamond, I really appreciate you pointing out that attraction and how we move when we are demonstrating attraction, it's not monolithic.
Absolutely.
As I was listening, and even the situation between mentor and mentee is not monolithic. But as I was listening to everybody, what kept coming across my mind was, she shot her shot. I think ANESHA said something about that. But at the same time, when you know who you are, and you're aware of how you show attraction, then you know how to show it in a way that doesn't come off too strong.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
For me, I can speak personally. I'm very shy, interestingly enough, when it comes to love, but I am a lioness in the pulpit.
Come on.
And so what tends to happen is when people meet me in a less formal setting, when they meet me outside of church, they're looking like, where is that aggression? Well, in those spaces, I show up differently.
Absolutely.
So I know that when I'm around guys that I'm interested in outside of church, I have to give some type of vibe or rhythm, or else they won't know. I will be invisible, as you said, Bishop. So I think when you studied yourself, and I see that being a theme in our conversation tonight, knowing yourself, being authentic, being genuine, knowing who you are. When you know yourself, you know the best way for you to show up. Yeah. And as you mature, you learn how to work it, just like Ruth.
Come on.
Where you are clever, you are strategic, you are even spiritual in the way you are, and discerning. This is a good time to call. Just because he didn't call back doesn't mean he's not interested.
There you go, Jen.
When he calls me back, I will respond like this.
There you go, girl.
All of that comes from knowing how you show up and learning how to work who you are and be authentic.
That's good. That's good, Jen.
Yeah.
I love that. I repeat Queen Jen's sentiments. I think when we really tap into the power that we have as a woman, it's not as hard as we make it sometimes. And it's no different. I don't think she was aggressive. I think she was assertive and she was strategic. She knew what she wanted. She didn't play around with it. She knew this is wisdom I'm giving you. Clearly, Ruth agreed. She wasn't objecting. She was in submission to it. And to me, it's what's the difference in us women on here sharing our experiences, giving wisdom or advice to other women, or even a married woman giving advice to another young lady about a man that is possibly a potential suitor for her or a good match for her, saying, hey, when you go around him, you know, make small talk. If he's interested in this, bring this up in conversation, like giving them wisdom, or I guess not as we call it game, but I don't like to call it game, but real wisdom on how to show up in a space and command that room or command his attention just by being you and the presence that you bring. And like Jen said, knowing how to work it as a woman, like come on now, let's not get brave. We know what to do when we need to do it, how we need to do it. And again, when you know who you are as a queen and as a woman, it's not going to come off as aggressive or overly. I didn't see where he was complaining when she did any of that. I didn't see no scriptures where it was a rebuttal. So clearly, sis did something right. Clearly, she had it going on. So I think we can take a page from the book and know how to do it in wisdom and maintain our femininity. Just because I know how to position myself correctly and know what to say, what to do, when to do it, and still come across as natural and organic, it doesn't mean I'm being aggressive, right? Especially if I'm a lady at all times, I know how to be a lady. I'm still going to bring that to whatever space I'm in to be able to attract what it is that's for me or that I see that I want. So that's what I think.
I thought something was key that she was married before, but she still leaned on Naomi for wisdom on how to approach a new chapter. So that means not taking an old rule book to a new field. Just saying.
Go ahead, Yolanda.
I mean, I definitely agree with Destiny. For me, in pursuit or even making myself appear available with relationships, to me, it's about access and not process. Like, I'm not trying to make you jump through hoops. I'm not trying to make you do a questionnaire or trying to, create this long drawn out process to show you that I'm interested in you. My interest is shown with the access that I give you. Like Jen said, I am definitely an introvert. I am very quiet. And this whole season of coaching and preaching is all new to me because God has really forced me out of my comfort zone, and I'm grateful for that. So when it comes to relationships, that is how I present myself available, is through giving somebody access. And when you have that access, it allows you to, kind of come in. This is the home, this is the foundation. And yes, it may, I may be quiet and I may be introverted, but at the same time, when I give you the master key, then you have access to every door, So it allows you to know that there is a mutuality. It's not just you, trying to pursue me or trying to chase me, but I have given you that type of access.
Okay. We are going to close out, and the part of the story that I like, and I don't think Boaz gets enough credit for, that he didn't take advantage of the moment. He actually said, "Hey, let's wait. Let's not do anything rash. Let's try to see if there is another one who can do this, and that's closer." And I think then he could have took advantage of the situation, but he didn't. How would you feel if a man say that to you? Any of you in closing? How would you feel if a man say, "Whoa, yeah"? Would you feel like, "Oh my God, I shouldn't have, maybe he don't want me"? Because that's what it said. He put on hold. No,
I mean, I guess there's two ways to look at it. I mean, you could be offended, like, well, wait a minute, like I shot my shot and now you want to, see if somebody else wants me. So you could see it that way, but I guess if you're looking at it from a cultural standpoint, I'm sure all of that had relevancy to their culture. So I don't know. I mean, I can't say that I would know how to feel in today's society if I were to shoot. I don't want to call it shoot my shot because I don't do that. But if I were to, what? If I were to do the little nudging, because I will do that. I will nudge in a direction.
That's fine. Shoot your shot sounds too. Okay.
I don't like that. I don't shoot my shot. But if there's a little nudging and there seems to be hesitation, then I probably will reconsider. If he's as interested as I am showing it. And I love what Diamond said, or no, I'm sorry, not Diamond, but Yolanda said that whenever a woman allows you her attention, she's really letting you know she's interested. So if you're doing that and he seems to kind of be like, well, hold on a second, you are going to wonder if the interest is there. So I would probably move from that standpoint.
Okay.
If I can say something, you were saying this earlier about your relationship with God being in place before you get into a relationship with someone. I think, and let's not, we don't even have to go the spiritual route. We can talk about being rightly related to yourself. If you're in a healthy space, it won't matter. Because if you're in a healthy headspace, rejection is not the end of the story. If someone doesn't want to be with you, that's God opening a door for someone else who's a better fit. So I think when you are in the healthiest, when you are your best you, which is what we all should be striving to be, whether you process what Boaz says as rejection, or whether you process it as I'm in, I just need to wait, your headspace is going to help you with all of that. And if you're in a good space, it's a win both ways.
Absolutely. Good, Jen.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, we're going to close. I'm going to ask Melinda if you could put up the giving information. I'm going to ask everybody. I want to be a blessing to the ladies as I do the men. No less for the women. Some of the men have already sold, and so I want just everybody. If you would just get a $20 seed tonight. The women definitely don't y'all start leaving like in church. The women definitely, we went from 200 to 169 all over the place just that fast. That's all over the place on all of the networks that run. But I need everybody to get $20. Greg Davis Ministries. One, contact Greg Davis at PayPal, Giveify, Greg Davis Ministries, they'll Greg Davis Show, Gmail. If you could just do that so we can just get some Starbucks money on tonight and be a blessing to them. Queen Destiny has stepped out on faith to pursue her calling. Literally, she's fresh off the workforce, now doing what she does full time, and we celebrate her. And there, so many of you now are full time in what you do. I see Yolanda with her various courses that she's doing, and ANESHA is a coach, and likewise Regina, Erica, everybody, they're within their own calling. So I want you all to, I need at least 50 of you that are watching. If you would do that, you got so much wisdom from these ladies. It's no less than the men. Plus, you get to look at beautiful ladies while they're giving wisdom. Men, not so much. y'all, please do that, and so that they'll want to come back whenever I invite them. Their time. This is the space we're in now. There's no on the road ministry. We ain't doing that right now. I mean, some are taking chances and things, but ask that you all would sow tonight a $20 seat. Some of you can give more than that. Roger Grice, he gave more. Carlton gave 50, and Roger gave 26. Some of the men. Perry, I need your help tonight. And those that are here, even the women, don't do any less for the wisdom. Actually, women, ladies, it should help you to think how other queens think and just confirm where you are in your journey to the right one. So tonight, if you would do that, you would sow that $20 seed. As you're giving that seed, I'm going to go around and let the ladies kind of just share what they're doing, and they can tell you how to follow them. Thank you. Thank you, Arisha. Arisha spent $50 tonight. She's been here with us the whole time. If you all could sow tonight so we could be a blessing. So let's start with Erica. What's going on with you?
Hey. So I am building an online community of women that makes the modern day proverbial woman. It's www.emerge20-21.com. You can create your own profile there, different things like that, share. It is the space where every Naomi connects with her Ruth and every Ruth finds her Naomi type of space. It is being a lifeline while getting a lifeline at the same time. That's ministry. Of course, there's an amazing group. Shout out to Echo Community that I get to lead. And I thank God for them who help me do ministry week after week. But beyond that, I am building and creating Pink Millions through Pink the Brand House. I am a brand architect and I'm loving this entrepreneurial space that I'm in as a creative professional and curator of brands.
All right. Yolanda.
Yes. Well, I just finished up with my very first event, Girl Wash Your Hands, where we focus on, thank you, where we focus on washing your hands of stuff that's no longer serving you. And so it was incredible. Definitely blew my mind to, be sold out my first time. And so I'm just really excited about what God has next. Coming into the new year, kicking off January the 5th, I'll be doing a program called No Caves. My prophetic word that was given to me January of New Year's for 2020 was that I would no longer be hidden, but I will be highlighted. And my life was as of David, where I was in a cave and it was time for me to come out of the cave. And literally, that's exactly what has occurred during this time of the pandemic. And so I'm really just pushing individuals to come out of the cave and really pursue the purpose, the plan that you may have been putting on the back burner, or that you may have been timid or apprehensive to accomplish, and really just coming out with full throttle with the new year. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Okay. Diamond.
Again, thank you, Bishop, for having us on this platform. So you all can, of course, follow me on Instagram at Diamond J Gant. Stay connected to my website. There you'll find all of the current things that are happening and all of the things that are getting ready to happen. DiamondJGant.com. And so stay connected to me there. Of course, you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm dropping some new content. So I'm actually going to put a new sermon on there. Many of you guys have been asking me about that. So I'm going to upload that. And so just stay tuned, stay connected. If you're on Instagram, hit me up. I love to talk and
As they're
chat
talking,
and all that
I need 20 more of you to give tonight. If 20 more of you could give to tonight, I'll be where I need to be so I can do what I need to do. Jen.
So you can follow me at the Carner JLC on Twitter and Instagram. And my website is www.jenniferministries.com. What do I have going on? Well, I'm a PhD student, so you already know what that life is about. I am very focused on my academics right now. But in addition to that, in 2021, I'm just sharing this with y'all. I'm launching the coaching side of the Winning Woman brand and the J Ministries brand. And as an executive pastor who's been in this for 21 years, where I see my oil flowing is coaching high performing teams. Some of us have church staffs that we can't really get motivated, or teams that are really losing their morale because of the season we're in. Well, I will help you get your team to a place where they're healthy and they're excited about doing the work. So we're launching the coaching side of our brand in 2021. In addition to that, I have some new content coming, like my sister, Dr. Diamond. I'm going to speak it into existence. Some new content is coming. We got a podcast coming up. So just follow me, stay tuned. And I believe this year is going to be our best year.
All right, ANESHA.
Good stuff, ladies. So I am all over social media at ANESHA Sharp and on Facebook as ANESHA Alexandria. I'm super excited about something I'm launching January the 12th. It's called the Esther Effect. And so it's an online community, a safe space for women to produce purpose. We're going to be doing everything that has to do with life, purpose, and love. So we're going to be going into some deep places, but some fun places. As the world opens up, I look forward to us having and even traveling together. I also have a publishing company, so I'm still also coaching people in the book space, and got the opportunity to work on Bishop Greg's book. Yes. So I'm always doing that. I will be doing another writers boot camp soon online, and I also have several online events coming up. Relationship conference, a few of those online that I've been asked to do. So several great things, but you can find all that on my website. And to learn more about the Esther Effect, you can go to ANESHASharp.com, events and programs. So lots of fun stuff.
Okay. Who's next? Ashley.
All right. It was so great being with all of you tonight. Again, Bishop, thank you for having me. You can find out more about what I have. I have a lot of good things coming up in 2021. You can find everything on my website at The Ashley Winston. And you can follow me on social media at The Ashley Winston. And everything you need about me is there. So thank you.
You're welcome. And finally, Destiny, the juggernaut.
Thank you, sir. All the queens that are on the panel tonight. I was honored to finally be able to make it with some stable Wi-Fi connection. So giving honor to God and to Thomas, who's not the first, but definitely not the last. I'm Destiny Inspired, the Empowerment Juggernaut. Sorry for being on my phone. I've actually been connecting with some of the queens in the live tonight. So shout out to some new clients that have signed up for consultations. I'm excited to work with you. I am a certified master life coach, a transformational speaker and author. I work with goal-driven women to help them crush the obstacles that are standing in their path of purpose. So I help you with all things accountability, setting boundaries, tapping into your purpose, setting up a plan and a strategy for your goals, right? I also have an app for women. It is the ultimate empowerment app and safe space for women globally. It is called Crowned, CROWNED, Crowned by Destiny Inspire. It is a free app available on both Apple as well as Google. Shiamante Grimes in the comment section give you everything. I do a prayer call for women. My community called the Queen Council, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 6 a.m. It is a sacred, safe space of sisterhood where we work on our spiritual development. Also, I have a program right now that I'm wrapping up, but anybody that is on this call that wants to be a part of it, we're starting in January. It is called Sis, Speak Up. It is a 4-week intensive for women speakers who are aspiring to speak or who are wanting to further their speaking, really tap into the power of their story, convert their pain into their power, and also monetize their mission. And I'm also giving you the basics of public speaking and how to become a more effective communicator in general. It is called Sis Speak Up. You can find it at my website. I am Destiny Inspire. Well, the website is Destiny Inspire, but I'm Destiny Inspire on all social media platforms. I would love to connect with you. It has been an honor to serve alongside all my Queen sisters and Bishop Greg Davis.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
Did we lose somebody? We lost Erica.
Erica, yeah, there she is.
I'm sorry, some button.
Okay. All righty. Thank all of you tonight. We're almost there. Just if I get 10 more of y'all to give, I'll be there and I can give them some Starbucks money. None of this is for me. It's to bless the ladies. You'll be a blessing to me if you purchase my book, gregdavisshow.com. Ladies, it has been a privilege. This was very, very, very insightful to listen to your views. I thank all of you. And I'm sure we'll do it again very soon. Good night, everybody, and go with God.
Good night.
Go with God.
Go with God.
With God, get a shirt.
All right, y'all. The given information is at the bottom, everybody. We want to just leave it up for a minute. All right, ladies. Thank you.